Here is what your relationship is going to look like if you're truly dealing with a narcissist. This is what the cycle of relationship is going to look like with a narcissist. The first time you meet them, you are going to feel like this is too good to be true because they're going to be the best thing that ever happened to you. I don't care if you've been married before or dated other people before. This specific encounter is going to feel like nothing you've ever felt before. It's going to feel beautiful. You're going to feel swept off your feet. You're going to feel like you're placed on a pedestal because you are. You're going to feel loved. You're going to feel supported. You're going to feel validated. You're going to feel heard. You're going to feel seen. You're just going to feel all of the feelings that you have been praying for in every relationship you've ever been in. All right, it's going to be a beautiful thing. It's going to be so beautiful, and you and this person are going to have a lot of likes and dislikes. Everything you love, the narcissist love. Everything you like, they like. Everything you hate, they hate. All right, you are going to be the most important thing that ever happened to this narcissist. And then after a while, usually 2 to 6 months, they say, sometimes this can happen really, really fast. But within a few months, you're going to see that feeling of being on a pedestal is going to start to fade away. And then they're going to start to slowly, slowly devalue you. Once they devalue you, you are going to flip roles now. Now you're begging for love. You're begging for attention. You're begging for praises. You're begging for compliments. You're begging for all of the things that they gave you freely, overly freely. Now you're begging for even crumbs of it. So sometimes they'll come back when you complain. Sometimes they'll come back and take accountability. Sometimes they'll come back and change. Sometimes they'll come back and act a little better. Sorry about that. Sometimes they'll come back and act a little better, and then you'll be back in their good graces. But they're not 100% like they were in the start. But you're just grateful for whatever they're giving you this time. So it seems like everything is good again. You're feeling happy again. And then less than 2 days later, you're back to feeling anxious. You're feeling depressed. You're feeling like you don't know where your relationship with them stand. You're feeling like you can't talk too loud. You can't even breathe too loud. You feel like you don't understand what's going on. You feel crazy. You're being blamed for everything. If you whine, you're whining too much. If you ask for accountability, you're asking too much. You're just going to be in this constant state of fight or flight, right? Begging again for love, begging for attention, begging for the same things that they overly gave you at the start of the relationship. When you claim you want to leave, or when they see that there are changes in you to where you want to leave them, they'll suddenly change again. They'll become a better person. They'll start giving you some of the things that you ask for. They'll start loving you again, fake loving. They'll start being there for you again. Long story short, the goal is to keep